All right. So the Shanks leader is basically just came out. I thoroughly do enjoy it. It's just kind of like a nice mid-range deck. You can definitely get the flow of Dawn going. You can go all the way from 10 and when your opponent's sitting at like 4 or 6, and you can go straight back to 0 if you want to go all in. So basically, the leader has Dawn -3. You can go ahead and Dawn -3 and give your all your film cards, which is the main focus of the deck, plus 2K. You're really only going to do that when you're on your final turns. Don't want to do that too much. And I've kind of structured the deck about going around second. So second's fine. There is a first variant that I'm working on, but not at the moment. That extra card is definitely what you need because you need to see 3 major cards in this deck.
Gotcha. And purple really wants to go second nowadays anyway to get the extra draw.
Oh yeah, 100%. So start off can't deny. Get the 4 Buena Vistas. It's your Mad Searcher. It's your 2K. It does everything that you need it to do. Uh, the 2 cards that you're going to search off, I'm going to show you real quick when they come up. Integral, you really need to see this in your opening hand, and if you don't, you're going to have a real hard time doing anything against most decks. This is kind of a tech slot right now. I personally enjoy it just because it comes out at 2K. The main finisher of the deck is going to be Douglas Bullet, so being able to just drop a bullet on board while you're at 10 and then still have 2 Dawn to do other things, just drop a 4. Once you do Shanks' skill, because you're going to get that +2, he's going to be at 6.
Gotcha.
So he's a vanilla. It's pretty easy. He's got shield, so he's not a waste. And I'm going to go here. This is what I was playtesting today. I had this at 4, but I feel like it was a little too clunky. If you have to go first, if you're forced into going first, this is what you're going to use. You can tap her. Her skill is tap her, discard a film card, and if you have less Dawn than your opponent, you're going to get 2 Dawn back. So if you do this after your Douglas Bullet turns, you already have her on the board. Just tap her down, and it kind of mitigates that 4 cost because it gets kind of heavy, especially if you have to do it multiple turns.
Makes sense.
I do enjoy her, and most people aren't going to really target this card. It's just 3K, and you're going to keep it up until you need it.
Right.
This is just going to be generic, 4 shield, 4 blocker. Can't go wrong. Got the nice super promo because I've been here for a while.
Okay.
And we just go, generic. You can play him on the board if you're really desperate, but typically, just 2K shield on attack, trash a card from your hand, get a Dawn. It does help you with that Dawn acceleration. You want to get to Douglas as fast as humanly possible, so you can go ahead and get that set up while they're still working on their stuff.
Makes sense.
All right. Next up is 4 Iron. Key card of the deck, in my personal opinion. You're going second, so by the time you get to 4, you play this after your shank swing. You get up to 5, then you're just ramping from there.
Nice.
It is quite literally just a mini Onigashima along with the rest of the engine.
But it just gives you a body instead.
Yeah, it's just gonna give you a body. Next one is the 4 Yutas. You're gonna see this in most purple decks. I wanna imagine its skill is -1 Dawn. When your opponent swings, you block, and then you get the tap down. I believe it's a
5 cost or less?
5 cost or less. So
Yeah.
most things in the game are 5 cost.
Nice.
Sans it. So you're blocking the big boy,
And it helps block Shanks too.
and it helps blocks the Shanks because it is 5K and not the little small guys.
Nice.
As a shield, always want to have cards with shield. I do enjoy the big defense. For X Drake, standard. Not a lot to say. You can play him. He has a body on board, and ripping that 1 card of your hand which your opponent needs to guard your Douglas turn could be the difference between like getting that 2 and not getting that 2.
Makes sense.
All right. We do play a decent amount of blockers here. We're playing Queen. That is just staple.
Purple stable, man.
Don't really actually have to go.
Queen too good.
She's too good, man. It's
Too good. Too good. Queen too good.
Go into 2. I've had debates with this. Right now, I'm playing 2 of this and 1 other card. I've tried 3 of this. I just see it too much in my open hand. I've debated going 7 costs, but that was only for like the red matchup. If I'm only focused on the red matchup, I'm losing all my other matchups. This kind of hits a lot, gives me a body, and it's even numbers, which for Douglas allows me to have this plus 4 extra Dawn as opposed to 7 with 3 extra Dawn.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The big boy himself. I love this guy so much. Douglas Bullet.
Douglas Bullet, man, I really like this card.
The second I saw this card announced, I was in love with this card personally. And he's going to be in blue purple proc. He's going to be in most of my purple decks for now. He is a fantastic finisher. So his skill is you just Dawn -4, tap two five or lower costs down, and then he gets double attack.
That's correct.
So you don't have to wait until the turn you swing on him. If you can just drop him on the board and you're in a comfortable position to hit them with the -4 Dawn, you can just tap down two of the blockers and let the rest of your board do the rest. But you are working to get him on the board. Noted, if you once you play this, you're trying to survive for a turn. There's nothing else you're gonna do. It's gonna be like when you drop your 8-cost Cruzons back in sets two, and when you just drop like a 10-cost Shanks or a Mihawk. You're kind of just trying to hold on until you can actively use the card.
Makes sense.
But other than that, he's fantastic. You're gonna see him a lot. Now we're just gonna go ahead into the events. It's pretty standard. You know, I'm trying to survive as much as humanly possible.
4 blast breath.
4 blast
Staple.
breath. Staple. It's gonna get you. It's gonna get you where you need, especially after you do your Douglas turn. This card right here is secret, super important. People are kind of actually sleeping on it.
Okay. What does it do?
So on counter, because your whole deck is filmed, including Douglas, including your 4Ks, this is a blast breath that prevents your opponent from KOing that card for the rest of the turn.
Nice.
So if people aren't reading this and you just slap this on the board for 2, let's say you're protecting, you know, just a regular Douglas, and they just decide, hey, I got stuff for them. Douglas for the turn. Douglas for that skill specifically. And then for the rest of the game, you can't. For the rest of that turn, you can't Otama pistol. You can't swing over him. You can't stack 10 Dawn to attack. Like can't KO this guy.
Gotcha.
So you can swing. You can do that with those and the small 4-ofs. Perfect card. I thoroughly enjoy this, and a lot of these have trigger effects to get you the extra Dawn. So the additional ramping is always going to be nice.
That makes sense.
And for the second to last card, mini jet pistol. Literally cost 3, Dawn -2, KO something that's 5 or less. Most cards in the game are 5 or less. Everything that you kind of need to deal with in red. Red's my biggest main matchup that I'm worried about. Everything else, you're KOing 5 or less, and this is gonna be fine. And it also has the trigger of the same trigger as this, so
To get a Dawn, basically.
get you a Dawn active.
Nice.
So you can tap out, have a blast breath in hand. If you hit one of these, now your blast breath is active again.
Oh man, that's insane. That's actually pretty good.
So actually pretty beefy. And this is the tech that I'm kind of debating on at the moment. You know, it's this and the 2 kings, Brachio Bomber. It hits higher numbers than the king, and it also gives me that Dawn, so it gets me closer to my Douglas plays. So that's why I like this a little bit more than having that. I don't want to clog with either or, but I'm just trying this out. And same trigger skill.
That's a cool tech piece. I mean,
Yeah.
so
It's
definitely.
gonna work if it works.
I mean, I do like the Shank deck, man. I'm glad it came out. Thanks for the deck profile. I really appreciate it. Is there any changes that you might want to do to the deck? Because I do know you told me that it's not 100.
It's not 100% yet. This is strictly like a going second variant. So if you're forced to go first, it's gonna struggle a little bit because you're gonna be always that 1 Dawn off. You do have cards for it. If I had to change anything at the moment, maybe I'd switch those indigos into the I'd go ahead and switch these 2 indigos into the 3 vanilla. It's a 5K as well.
Gotcha.
So it serves the same purpose. If I see myself going first a lot more, then if I see the meta saying I'm going first, I'll switch these out to the 3Ks, the 5K 3 cost.
Okay, well that makes sense. Well, I do appreciate it, man. Good luck the rest of the way. And yeah, that's the Shanks deck profile, people. Get you the starter deck if you don't have it. It's out there. I mean, if you can find it. All right. But yeah, if anybody's got a problem with them, tell them kiss your ears. That's what I do. Peace, love, happiness. Gone.